kayak gets swallowed whole by a humpback whale. A man narrowly escapes being mauled to death by a bear in Russia. And a kayaker is knocked into the ocean by a great white shark. These are terrifying wilderness encounters caught on camera. Watch this kayaker get swallowed by a whale. Don't worry though, it spits him back out. Adrian Simancas and his father Del were out kayaking together in the freezing waters of southern Chile. They were paddling along when a massive humpback whale suddenly breached right beneath Adrian's kayak, and within a split second, the whale's enormous mouth just engulfed both Adrian and his boat, dragging them underwater. Del was paddling just yards away and watched the entire thing happen. Managed to capture the horrifying moment on camera as well, desperately trying to keep his composure, shouting for his son to stay calm the second he popped back up to the surface. The whale realized that it hadn't caught a fish and spit Adrian right back out just after a few seconds. I mean, it must have felt like minutes though. Reflecting, Adrian said, "I thought I was dead. I thought it had eaten me, that it had swallowed me." Even after the whale let him go, the danger was not over though. Adrian was now stranded in frigid ocean water. When I came up and started floating, I was scared that something might happen to my father too, that we wouldn't reach the shore in time, or that I would get hypothermia, Adrian continued. Fortunately, he managed to swim over and grab onto his dad's kayak. Del pulled him out of the water, and they both made it back to shore completely uninjured. This next video was uploaded to the YouTube channel Joel L'Esperance way back in 2006, simply titled "Bear Stalks Man," with a description reading, "Friend being stalked by a bear." And as the guy behind the camera says in the first 5 seconds of the video,
"Alright, this is me being stalked by a bear."
Yeah, I think we have a pretty good idea of what we're in for here. Joking aside though, this footage is terrifying. I mean, just watch how the bear walks out of the trees here. And he just keeps backing up, yelling at it, trying to get it to back off. But the bear continues to follow. Armed only with a large stick, he continues backing up all the way down this hill, trying to make it back to camp. But the bear is just not letting up. And then you hear it almost charge.
Whoa! 400 meters from camp. Whoa!
Around this point, he stops filming. But what happened in the end? Well, the man lived, the bear did not. His friend, who was the one who uploaded the footage to YouTube, posted an update writing, "He gets close enough to camp where the bear can smell the food in the kitchen." He was then able to get a hold of the firearm and cap the mofo. Northern Saskatchewan, for those of you wondering. On September 25th, 2025, security cameras in a parking lot in Russia captured this terrifying close call between a man and a massive brown bear. The man was just walking across the lot toward his car, while another vehicle was backing into a spot nearby. But just on the other side of the parking lot's wall was a large brown bear. The second the car backed into space, the bear climbed right over the wall and dropped into the lot. Luckily, the man spotted the bear just a split second before it lunged over the wall straight at him. With zero time to run to his own car, he bolted to the nearest vehicle, tore open the back door, and dove into the back seat. Slammed the door shut at the absolute last possible second. The charging bear slammed hard against the car, swiping its massive paws at the exact spot where the man's head had just been moments before. The bear spent a few seconds battering the vehicle trying to get in, before finally giving up and running off to chase another moving car. This is a pretty famous case. On March 23rd, 1994, 19-year-old Heather Boswell was swimming with crewmates from a NOAA research ship in the South Pacific when someone suddenly yelled, "Shark." The shark hit another swimmer first, leaving him badly injured. Heather immediately turned and started swimming back toward the ship. She later said, "I started swimming as fast as I could. Then I felt something grab my leg and jerk me. I turned and saw its fin. It was a great white, around 14 feet long. The shark grabbed her right leg, then came back and clamped onto her left leg, pulling her underwater." Heather said, "He was moving his head back and forth, shaking me really hard. I thought I was going to die." Crew members rushed to help and managed to grab her arms from a small boat. At the same time, though, the shark was still holding her leg. In Heather's own words, "It was a tug of war, and then I felt a pop. I thought it was my hip dislocating, but that's when I lost my leg." The shark had severed her left leg around mid-thigh. Witnesses said it turned toward another crew member who was climbing out of the water before shots from the ship finally drove it away. All of this, as you can see, was captured on camera. making for one of the most disturbing wildlife attacks ever caught on camera. A wildlife technician was hiking through the Idaho backcountry on a pretty grim mission. She was looking for a dead deer. The deer had been wearing a GPS collar, and since it stopped moving, she had to hike out there to figure out what happened to it. But as she got close to the carcass, she realized that she had walked right into a pretty dangerous situation. An adult mountain lion and 2 juveniles were right there, and they were not about to give up their meal. Now, mountain lions will usually run the second they see a human, but a mother guarding her cubs with the fresh meal lying there, it become a completely different animal. The lion stood her ground. It was refusing to back away. Well, it was actually following her. The technician tried to sound as intimidating as possible, screaming, "Go on, get," over and over while blasting an air horn. She didn't turn her back and run, which would have triggered the lion's instinct to hunt her. Instead, she kept her eyes locked on the cats and just slowly backed away. She made it out of there safely, but if she'd panicked, things would have gone very differently. This next case is incredibly tragic. Hiking through a forest in Greece, 61-year-old Christos Stavrianitis and his friend Dimitris had just finished exploring an old aircraft wreck when Christos walked over to a cliffside to take in the view. He never could have imagined he was looking at his final moments. While looking out over the ravine, Christos spotted a massive adult male brown bear moving through the bushes. Unaware of the imminent danger, Christos actually started filming the animal, calling out to it. He called over to Dimitris to come take a look. But as the bear got closer, Christos realized things were turning bad. He yelled for his friend to throw him a large bottle of pepper spray. Suddenly, Christos started coughing though, and the bear heard the noise, instantly locking onto him, and it charged. Christos managed to hit the bear with a small spray that he had on him, but a half-ton animal lunged, hitting Christos with enough force to knock him completely off the edge of the cliff. He died instantly. The bear then turned to Dimitris, but Christos' dog jumped in between them, buying Dimitris just enough time to grab his own pepper spray and scare the bear off. This is footage of a surfer being attacked by a shark live on TV. On July 19th, 2015, Mick Fanning and another surfer were waiting for a wave. Something moved in the water behind Fanning. A shark came up on him from the back and bumped straight into his surfboard and leash. Fanning swung and punched at it while trying to keep his board between him and the animal. In the chaos, the shark got tangled in his leash though, and dragged him around for a bit before snapping it off the board. That's when Fanning and the surfer turned and started paddling hard back toward the safety boats. A rescue boat reached them and got both surfers out of the water. Thankfully, neither were injured, and yeah, this was all filmed live. Millions of people watched it unfold in real time. Fanning later said he didn't understand why it didn't bite him, just that he felt lucky to walk away from it all. He was back in the water not long after this. Elephants are beautiful animals, and we often don't picture them being aggressive, but if they feel threatened or feel a need to protect their young, you could be met with a charging elephant like this. Jeff Melvin and Larry Unrein were on a canoe safari in Botswana when they started noticing something off with a herd of elephants nearby. Melvin said, "We kept saying that they were kind of getting a little annoyed at our presence, and then just in the blink of an eye, things kind of changed. What they didn't see at the time was a mother elephant with 2 calves hidden in the tall grass. A few moments later, the elephant came straight out of the reeds and charged the canoes. 2 of the boats were hit and flipped, throwing people straight into the water." Melvin said, "The first thought that came to my mind was, this is the end of me." The elephant kept moving through the water, and at one point knocked a woman down with its trunk and held her there briefly before she managed to get free and reach her husband. Guides moved in to quickly get people out, while others tried to swim or wade through the shallow water. After it was over, Unrein said, "I thought for sure I was dead, and then once I was safe, it was just jubilation. I was very happy to be alive." Pretty scary thought being out in the middle of the ocean, imagining some large animal swimming under your boat and knocking you overboard. That's what happened to this guy. And even better, it was a great white. This happened off the coast of South Africa in January 2016. A fisherman watched as a shark was chasing some fish near his kayak, and then it started heading straight for him. Absolutely terrifying. But in a total frenzied panic, he's able to climb back into his kayak. With all that said, has been the video, and I will catch you, yes, you specifically, in the next one.